Black Squad, what up? Once again, it's on. Kenyatta Black back at you again with another one. Make sure you are following me on Facebook. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. You're going to want to hit that bell icon twice to make sure you are getting all notifications for when I drop a video, premiere a video, go live, or drop a short. And make sure you check out my shorts. My shorts are better than your favorite YouTubers. I promise you. And as always, if you like the content and you want to support the content, go ahead and hit the Cash App, $ Black Squad, or the PayPal. All of that is in the description box. Well, today I am going to be reacting to the brother Sarah Garvey's latest video, The Truth About Pearl. And there are some revelations that the brother dropped that truly shed some light on things. Or I should say confirmed what some of us already knew. Confirmed what some of us already knew. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
We even get started, all right? If you have watched 2 or more of our videos and you have not subscribed,
Tell them.
then we have what, pal?
Beef.
What have we got?
Beef.
Exactly, so you better get doing that right now. Over to you, pal.
I'm making this video today that I didn't initially want to make, but there comes a time when we're all at a crossroad and have to make a decision. And sometimes that decision can affect you morally, it can affect you spiritually, and it can affect you financially.
Now, it can affect you morally, it can affect you spiritually, and it can affect you financially. So you've got some decisions to make. Decisions. You know, like the decision King Richards made when he decided that being a buck-broken slave on an air-conditioned Just Pearly auction block would be better than going, in his own words, he was saying, and then, if you know, basically if I leave Just Pearly things, if I stop dealing with Just Pearly, what do I go back to? He was thinking about his pockets. But, Pearl should maybe think about that. Because you don't buy friends. Friends are not for sale. The only thing you can buy is a future enemy. But I suppose we will all have to wait and see. But yeah, that's what this all boils down to with a lot of them house Negroes that she got over there working for. And you're going to see them in a minute in the video. We'll talk about them in a minute.
But it's a decision that we can't shy away from. Now recently, Just Pearly Things has been caught up in some controversy. Why? She has interviewed avid racist and known racist Nick Fuentes. He is also an anti-Semite. What did Pearl do when she interviewed him? What she done is that she laughed with him and seems to agree with a lot of his points.
Talk about instances of like.
No, Brother Garvey, you're being too nice. You're being too nice, brother. She seemed to, no, she ain't seemed to shit. She clearly agreed with everything that came out of that motherfucker's mouth. Not only did she, it was clear in that video, she agreed with his opinions and positions, and she obviously shares the exact same worldview as Nick Fuentes, as you yourself already know, as you yourself are about to articulate in this video. She shares the exact same worldview. And how anybody can sit there and watch that video and then say, well, I don't know if I can call her a racist, or I don't think she's racist. You are either deaf, dumb, and blind, or you are an apologist for racists and racism. Period.
They initially freed the slaves, there were some slaves that felt so indebted to their owners that they would travel across states to pay them back, and they actually had a really good relationship with them.
Now,
it's called Stockholm Syndrome, bitch. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. When someone is so beaten down that they begin to show the one who has held them captive, they begin to show them love and appreciation. They begin to show an affinity for the very people who had them enslaved. And the fact that so many white supremacist talking points continue to come out of this Bigfoot bitch's mouth. Yet so many house Negro content creators in the black manosphere are defending this bitch. Speaks volumes. Speaks volumes.
Said some of these things about the Jewish community, she would have been cancelled in a hot minute.
Facts.
Ask Kyrie Irving. Ask Kanye West. Now, this isn't about the Jewish community. This is about us. Okay? And so after that interview, Pearl decided to make an apology video, which was, in my personal point of view, disingenuous and a PR stunt. And all in all, it came from a place of deception.
Guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And, you know, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, you know, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
Now, I've been on social media for
Not only was it obvious to me from the jump that that so-called apology was bullshit, she's already proven that that apology was bullshit when she went on everybody's favorite effeminate YouTuber's channel, The Lead Attorney. I don't know how grown men can sit there and listen to that spicy ass, lispy motherfucker. Remember back in the day in Living Cover that hated it. Don't he remind you of that shit? Two snaps and a high five. I don't know how y'all sit there and listen to the lead attorney's limp-wristed ass. Bruh. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm starting to really wonder about some of y'all in the black manosphere space The fact that y'all don't seem to have no problem letting all these suspect dudes in the door. But Pearl sat up there with the lead attorney and started showing her ass after she made an appearance on Obsidian's International Coon Conference. All them house Negroes gathered in unison on Obsidian's channel, caping for Pearl. After she saw there were so many house niggas in the manosphere willing to protect her, oh, she got real bold then, and she went on the lead attorney's channel, talking about how she was about to go after basically any and everybody who said something about her that she didn't like. So you go from getting called out, not just for speaking to a racist, you get called out for sitting there agreeing with everything a racist had to say, laughing and kikiing with this racist, making several racist statements yourself, and repeating white supremacist talking points. You go from getting called out for all that to doing an apology video to then threatening content creators who had something to say about your racist comments. So no, she didn't mean a damn thing she said in that so-called apology. Not a goddamn word. She was worried about her bottom line. But once she saw that her bottom line wasn't under any threat, that's when the mask came off.
Wow. And I have done interviews with the likes of Tommy Robinson, Sargon of Akkad, politicians like Lee Jasper, and also Lin May and people from the music industry like So Solid, Mega Man to be exact. Now, Pearl was reacting to my content prior to coming to the UK. And so when she came to the UK, I was very interested in the content that she would actually put out. And it just so happened that she was putting out content that I was interested in, similar to what the late great Kevin Samuels actually put out. And
you're being nice again, Brother Garvey. It ain't similar to Kevin Samuels. She is completely regurgitating Kevin Samuels. Completely regurgitating Kevin Samuels. The only difference is she ain't asking nobody their height and dress size. And she's not having women call into the show every night. She is sitting there regurgitating Kevin Samuels. Completely. And that's another reason why it's a damn shame that not only so many content creators are caping for this chick, but so many viewers of the manosphere space are caping for this chick. You know, Kevin Samuels blew up, and you know, black manosphere or red pill ideology and rhetoric began to seriously infect and influence the mainstream. And right when everything looked like it was finally, you know, going to culminate into everything that the black manosphere has been working towards for years, excuse me. Sadly, right when it looked like that was about to happen, the brother passed away. And immediately the manosphere went scrambling. And nobody was actually appointed to replace Kevin. Then Pearl pops up. Regurgitating not only Kevin Samuels, but all of the Manosphere and Red Pill talking points. And she so heavily associates herself with black people that it looks as though Pearl is part of and speaking for the black manosphere, which is a goddamn shame. A goddamn shame. The black manosphere was created by foundational black American men. Let's just keep it real. Foundational black American men who have never had a voice in this country. Never had a voice. Never had a voice nor a platform in which we could control the narrative and speak what needed to be spoken. Never. So the black manosphere was created, and finally the black man in America finally had a platform and was finally able to speak not only amongst ourselves, but to share our thoughts and opinions with the world. And the black manosphere, if I'm not mistaken, is worth millions of dollars and is heavily influencing the mainstream, even to the point where the lingo from the manosphere, some of the slang, simps, that comes from the black manosphere. You've got 17-year-old Gen Zers running around here calling each other simps, more than likely not even knowing where that word originated from. Same thing, you've got these young Gen Zers running around here using the term hyena, probably not knowing that comes from the manosphere. So the manosphere has infected and is influencing the mainstream. And so you mean to tell me that the black man who never had a voice in this country, never had a platform to speak from, where we could control the narrative and speak our mind unapologetically, when we finally do it, we pass the microphone to a white woman and tell the world, well, this white woman speaks for us? That makes no damn sense. That makes no damn sense. What the hell was the point? When you think about all the content creators, Manosphere 1.0, Manosphere 2.0, and now 3.0, that's a lot of people. A lot of people who worked very hard to get the black manosphere to where it is now, just to pass the microphone to this white chick who just showed up day before yesterday and tell the world she speaks for us. And if she don't speak for you, why the fuck are you caping so hard for?
I understand it because I myself had been embroiled in court cases and things of that nature when it comes to the mother of my son, and understand that the gynocentric order in which we live in is something that needs to be spoken about. So when she came to London, She said that she wanted to make a podcast, and I said, no problem. Okay, let's talk about it. And I decided to feature on her show. Now, when I featured on her show, because of my following in the UK, people would tune in. So essentially, I helped Pearl grow her channel. Okay, I was on there week to week, and I was working with her based on a fee. So the tragic death of Kevin Samuels happened, and there was a vacuum within the manosphere space. Who was it going to be filled by? It was actually filled by just Pearly Things, along with other content creators. Now, I believe that the reason why this space was filled is because Kevin Samuels had a large following of black men. And these black men were essentially fed up with the way feminism had taken over their community, specifically their women. So when he died, there was a vacuum and a lot of black men looking for content like this. And it was filled by Pearl. And I believe that Pearl rose to fame because she herself was the opposite of what those men had been seeing. She was a white woman. She wasn't the types of women that they had been seeing. And essentially, she was regurgitating Kevin Samuels' content. So I began working with Pearl, and from the beginning, I started to think that maybe this girl has a colonial mindset. Now, we all know that we don't want to be paranoid, so I kept working with her. However, the more I worked with her is the more that I saw. She had a colonial type viewpoint when it came to black people, and I had to school her.
And that colonial viewpoint of black people was shining bright in that, I'm not even going to call it an interview, in that conversation. That was two white supremacists having a conversation. That wasn't no damn interview. But in that conversation she had with Nick Fuentes, her colonial mind state was on full fucking display.
A few times on what it was like to be black and the black experience, and also what slavery and colonization was actually like.
Push the limits when you get behind the wheel. The new
figures.
And the black experience, and also what slavery and colonization was actually like.
Do you think that historical catastrophes must be compensated for?
No.
No.
That's stupid.
So then, I'm not saying...
Because immediately her brain went straight to black people. Obviously, it's a black man asking her this question, so obviously the question is being related to slavery. So her mind went straight to slavery. Watch this.
Agreeing or disagreeing?
Yeah.
So then, how come there were groups of people that got compensation then?
How come?
For instance, like Jewish people, Chinese people, Japanese people with the bombs. Like there were groups of people who got compensation.
Notice you're not hearing her say, well, I don't think they should have gotten it either. Oh, no, she's not going to say that about Jewish people.
I don't know.
So it wasn't fair?
What? Well, I'm talking about, like, when I think about group, I think about reparations.
Now, she's smart enough to say, I think about black people. Because she said, when I think of group, then she quickly changed course. Oh, I think about reparations. You think about niggas. And you don't think niggas should get reparations. Because you are a culture vulture. We're going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to let this breathe.
So, I mean, maybe if the people were still alive today, like, I don't know, maybe. But, like, when you said historical, I thought you meant, like, in the past, not the present.
Yeah, so, like, in the past, so, like, people talk about slavery. So, in the past, you know, the Holocaust happened. In the past, you know, the Japanese... But people got compensated for it.
Yeah.
There's a book, right, called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And when you read that book, you realize that the whole Industrial Revolution and stuff like that was started because of the colonization. And you just think, well, if you didn't do that, then you wouldn't be as successful.
So, what do you mean by the colonization?
So the colonization of Africa, so both the people and the...
Apparently, Pearl dropped out of school in the fucking 5th grade because she doesn't know what the fuck colonization is. Apparently we're dealing with a middle school dropout here. What fucking rock does somebody have to be living under their entire goddamn life not to know what colonization is? Niggas in the hood know what colonization is. Pearl don't know what colonization is. And this is the same game she played when she sat there and had that conversation with Nick Fuentes. She played the innocent, I don't know nothing, I'm ignorant of the facts routine to give herself plausible deniability. She's playing the same game right now, having this conversation.
Resources, right? There's a direct correlation between the colonization of Africa and the Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
And so with all the metals and the rubber and all this kind of stuff coming from Africa, it fueled the Industrial Revolution of the West.
Wait, so you're saying like in Africa, when you say colonize, you're saying like did England come in and colonize?
Yeah, like so European, France, Spain, Portugal, England.
And they like enslaved Africans, and that's what you're saying. Okay.
So they enslaved and at least colonized the continent.
Okay.
So when you colonize a continent and then you take ownership of the resources, you're able to gather those resources together and use them to your own benefit.
Right.
And so you gather those resources, use them to your own benefit, and build up your economy, all the while messing up the economy of that actual country.
Right.
So that video was filmed in 2022. And in that video, what you saw was me attempting to tell Pearl and show Pearl what colonization was like. How people went to another group of people and took their resources and took what was theirs and built their empire off of it. So when Pearl now plays like she doesn't know what colonization is and she doesn't know what slavery is and she says these insensitive statements, in that video I actually attempted to give her a...
She's playing stupid so that she can say these insensitive, as you put it, statements. Because you can't hold it against somebody for saying insensitive things or even what can easily be categorized as racist. You can't necessarily hold it against them if they're saying it out of ignorance. If they're saying it because they just simply aren't educated to certain things, you know, they're young and innocent and ignorant of history, so we can't necessarily hold it against her. That's the fucking game she's playing. And she ain't even playing it well, yet you got a whole manosphere full of bamboozled, broken Negroes defending this bitch. It's sad, man.
It was called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. I've read it myself. She semi-dismissed that book. She kind of dismissed that book. And then she went on with herself to go and interview a man like Nick Fuentes. Pearl has Africans that work for her. Now, Nigeria has many issues. Now,
didn't I just do a video about Nigerians? If you haven't seen my video about these goddamn Nigerians. I'm going to say it just like that. These goddamn Nigerians. Go check out that video. You're about to see some Nigerians right now, live and in full effect. Watch this.
The disparity in Nigeria has rich and poor people living just on the breadline. And Pearl has these types of people working for her. They edit her videos.
She's got a stable full of African house niggas. I'll say it for you, Brother Garvey. She's got a stable full of Nigerian house niggas. The same Nigerian house niggas I just did a video about yesterday. And then later on in the day, yesterday evening, came across this video. I said, well, I'll be goddamn. Just got done talking about these niggas.
They make her thumbnails.
So, look what I have here.
Here they go.
This is evidence to show how hard my Americans work.
No, hold on. You forgot, yeah? This is how hard my white Americans work.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Now that's King Cotton Picking Riches on the right there.
They're very hard workers.
Yes.
I like how they work. My white Americans really work hard. You see that?
They inspire us to work harder.
No. Do you know what? They don't even inspire. They're working hard for themselves.
King Riches, bruh. Bruh. Why is your voice so high pitched? Do you have no bass in your voice? The fuck? You sound like olive oil. You sound like Shorty from Popeye. Oh, Popeye. That's how you sound, bruh. Put some fucking bass in your voice, bruh. Eat some steak. Eat some hamburgers. Do some push-ups, nigga. Put some bass in your voice. God damn. I can't stand a grown fucking man that don't have no bass in his voice, bruh. Cause what the fuck happened to you, bruh?
Bro, you know, they're putting in a lot of work, yeah? They put
in a lot of work, yeah?
My
Yes.
white Americans
You guys should
work hard. Yeah, you could.
So
they sat there and they play on words. My white America, because in that video Pearl did, she referred to the African people who work for her as my Africans. And for those of you who not only speak English but understand English, the word my is a possessive pronoun. Possess means to control or own something. To suggest that something belongs to you. So when you sit there and say, my Africans, one can easily make the argument that was a Freudian slip. A Freudian slip of the tongue. My Africans. My Africans. So they sat there and tried to, make light of it. Let's run that back. My white Americans, house niggas trying to smooth things over and act like it ain't such a big deal, act like it ain't what the fuck it is.
No, do you know what? They don't even inspire. They're working hard for themselves, bro. You know, they're putting in a lot of work, yeah? They put in a lot of work. My white Americans
You guys should
work hard. Yeah, you could.
Now those are the house Negroes that work for her. I am not surprised, not one fucking bit, that they are Nigerian. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. And neither are you. Neither are you. All this proves to me is white people, and this is not an indictment against all white people. What this proves to me is white people like Pearl, white people like Nick Fuentes, and white people like Pearl, they know where to go when they need a house nigga. They know where to find a house nigga. Because they went straight to Nigeria and plucked a house nigga off the house nigga tree. They plucked a few house niggas off the house nigga tree.
So Pearl has taken people on from Africa, which on the surface looks like a good thing. And I guess it is. Africans are being fed. They're taking money from her. They are feeding their family. Amazing. However, with a colonial mindset, this can be quite dangerous. And what happened during that interview with Nick Fuentes was that she used an age-old tactic that colonizers use, which was the divide and rule tactic. She pitted African Americans versus Africans when she spoke about how hard Africans work compared to how hard African Americans work. And she also used the term, my African.
Thank you, Sarah Garvey, for being the first person to point that out. I said it from the fucking jump when I saw that interview. I'm gonna run this back so y'all can hear that again.
African Americans versus Africans was that she used an age-old tactic that colonizers use, which was the divide and rule tactic. She pitted African Americans versus Africans when she spoke about how hard Africans work compared to how hard African Americans work.
And I said that from day one. That is a divide and conquer tactic. Whisper something in the ear of this one here. Oh, you work hard and you're not like them over there. You know, give them a compliment. Oh, you work hard. You're so hardworking. You're industrial. Yada, yada, yada. Then demean the other group of African people. You're nothing like them. You know, they're lazy. They're useless. You know, don't be like them. You know what? You shouldn't even associate yourself with them because you're so much better than they are. Now, let me explain the difference between the overwhelming vast majority, I'm gonna fucking say it, between the overwhelming vast majority of foreign Negroes and the foundational Black American. After Pearly Things whispers that bullshit in your ear, you will stand there and smile in her fucking face, skinning and grinning, nodding your head in agreement, just so happy that you got some sort of validation from the daughter of your slave master. I fucking said it. See, what you don't realize is Pearl, she's gonna come to us too. She's gonna try the same bullshit with us that she pulled with you. Oh, you know, you foundational Black Americans, you know, you guys, you're nothing like those Africans, you know. They don't even hardly wear shoes. They don't even hardly wear shoes. They've only got electricity for 12 hours a day. I don't know why they keep saying how hard they work. They must not work too hard if they can't keep the electricity on for 24 hours a day like the rest of the world. You know, a lot of them still live in huts. You know, they're nothing like you. You guys are so influential. You've got half the world trying to mimic and imitate you. From your song to your dance, the way you carry yourself. Now, see, the difference between the majority of us and you is we already know the game she's running. We already know the game she's running. And some of us will look her square in the fucking eye and tell her to go fuck herself. And some of us who have deep sentimental attachments to our brothers and sisters overseas, some of us will not only tell her to go fuck herself, but even tell her keep our people's name out her fucking mouth. So what makes it so hard for you to turn down the 30 pieces of silver? What makes it so hard for you to turn down the 30 pieces of silver?
And she also used the term, my Africans. Much of what Pearl says is determined by her management, which she has said to me on many occasions that she shares with Candace Owens. So when you have a colonial mindset and you have a management who tell you what to say, what generally happens in...
So Pearl has the same management as Candace Owens. Wow. Sounds to me like somebody has big plans for Pearl. And I'm pretty sure those plans go far beyond YouTube. I'm pretty sure. That is very interesting. I would love to be a fly on the wall and listen to those conversations. I could only imagine what's being said.
My personal point of view and what I actually saw was that she began to start paying people pittance. She began to start offering contracts to people that owned them, just like a colonial master would. Case in point, myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation about me signing to her contractually. And I want to make this very clear. I have never signed to the Just Pearly Things network. I have always been an independent. Pearl has known that, and I have known that. And so anytime I worked with Pearl, we had agreed a fee, and I worked for that fee. I have never been signed to the Just Pearly Things contracts. However, she has signed a few Africans, namely King Riches and Auntie Jenny. Now I have
King Cotton Picking Riches and Auntie Jenny. Now, Auntie Jenny, I got no beef for Auntie Jenny. I like Auntie Jenny. I like her. What a hell of a contract. It is a hell of a contract that Sarah Garvey is about to explain to you that Pearl is offering these Negroes. Pay attention.
I have no problem with a King Riches or an Auntie Jenny.
I got a problem with
if
Riches.
you look at the contracts that they signed, you would understand the reason why I use the term colonization and colonial. Now, myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation, and she expressed to me that she wanted to do a new segment for her show. In that segment, she said that she would like me to present a topical news show on a day-to-day basis. So I said, okay, no problem. Talk to me. What are we talking about? And she said she would want me within her studio 4 days per week. I said, okay, from what time? She said from 10 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. And I said, okay, well, that is 7 hours. I said, so working 4 to 5 days a week for 7 hours is essentially a day job. I said to her, okay, so what is my guaranteed fee at the end of the month? What is the salary? And she looks at me and she says, we do not do guarantees and we do not do salaries. So I said,
now why the fuck would Sarah Garvey agree to that fucking slave contract? Who the fuck, who the hell becomes a YouTuber or a content creator so they can punch a clock? First of all, you gonna put me on a schedule 10 to 5. Like, bitch, I got into this shit so I didn't have to punch a clock. What the fuck? Gonna put me on a... Do I have a scheduled lunch break too, bitch? The fuck? Do I gotta raise my hand to go use the bathroom? The fuck you mean from 10 to 5? This bitch done lost her damn mind. First off, then, you know, that contract. Wow. 70-30. The money isn't guaranteed. Are you kidding? I'm gonna let Garvey explain a little more.
so if you don't do guarantees and you don't do salaries, what is it that you actually do? And she said she does percentages. So I said, okay, cool. Well, what's the percentage? She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and she said, no. 70% goes to me, Pearl, and 30% goes to me, Sarah Garvey. And that's when I started scratching my...
So in other words, she was trying to put Sarah Garvey on the fucking track. She got, bruh. She, it's like I said, I like Auntie Jenny. I like her. But whoever signed them contracts with her, y'all basically her hoes. She got y'all on the track. That's the kind of money a pimp takes from they hoe. That's the kind of money a pimp takes from their hoe. How the hell you get 70 and I get 30 off of my content? Are you fucking crazy? And that's the high-end deal. That's the high-end deal. 70-30. The low-end deal is worse than that. But we're supposed to believe that Pearl doesn't have, as Sarah Garvey put it, a colonizer mindset. We're supposed to believe that Pearl isn't a racist piece of shit with these shady business practices, with these slave wages that she's offering black people, on top of every fucking thing that came out of her fucking mouth in the conversation with Nick Fuentes, on top of everything you just saw come out of her mouth when she had that conversation with Sarah Garvey before. Give me a fucking break. She is no different than her ancestors. No different than her ancestors. This is the type of chick. This is the type of chick. If we were living in slavery times right now, and that was the slave master's wife, that's the kind of Miss Ann, as we call them in the black community. That's the kind of Miss Ann that would be raising hell on the fucking plantation. Especially if you're a black woman. Oh, and especially if you're a black woman who the slave master, the owner of the plantation, if she catches her husband looking your way, you better look out. You better look out. That's the kind of slave master's wife that'll make life hell on the fucking plantation. Pearl is a plantation wife. She's a fucking plantation wife. If Pearl could run a plantation. Pearl could run a plantation. She could run, operate, and manage a plantation. No fucking problem. No problem. She's got the mindset. Clearly.
And I said, hang on a minute. So are you telling me that's a high-end contract for you? And she said, yes. And I said, so are you saying that Just Pearly Things Network has other people on low-end contracts? She said, yes. I said, King Rich's and Auntie Jenny? She said, yes. I said, what's the low end? She said, it's 10 to 15%. So essentially, she could be owning 10.
Now, I wonder how King Rich's is going to feel when he finds out that Sarah Garvey was basically offered twice the amount of money that he's getting. Because obviously if you offered Sarah Garvey 30%, but you're only offering me 10 to 15%, obviously there's way more money on the table that you could be offering me. I wonder how King Cotton Picking Riches is gonna feel when he finds out that Sarah Garvey was offered double the money that he's getting. I wonder. Might be some trouble in paradise.
80% of the content, which is basically the monetized views on somebody's channel, and they only take home 15% of the money? She said yes. I said, Pearl, how long are these contracts for? She said 3 years. So I said, let me get this straight. You want to own me for 3 years to take 70% of my ad revenue, keep me in your studio from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening for 4 to 5 days a week, and you are not guaranteeing me any money? I said respectfully, for what reason would I work for your company? She said, because we have a great studio and we have great lighting and we have great editors that will edit your stuff down. Now,
so you will look good on camera while you are making me my money, bitch. Pearl thinks she a pimp. She thinks she's a pimp. And she's looking for as many black hoes as she can find. He said, why would I take this deal? And she said, well, we've got a nice studio. We've got great editors and good lighting. So you can look good while you're broke. Damn, bro. The just Pearly the Just Pearly Things platform is the Death Row Records of YouTube, nigga. Next thing you know, we're gonna hear stories about Pearl hanging motherfuckers over the balcony. Hanging motherfuckers over the balcony and making them sign contracts and shit. What the hell? You're gonna take 70% of the profit of my videos. 70%. And then you want me to show up here from 10 to 5. That's going backwards, first of all. For a content creator of Sarah Garvey's level, if I'm not mistaken, he's got 96,000 subscribers. He's about to crack 100,000. For a content creator of his level, that's going backwards. To be doing that for somebody else on somebody else's platform, basically punching a fucking clock. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And for those of you who may be listening and may not know, for a content creator on YouTube who's got 100,000 subscribers, you are making a lot of fucking money. A lot of fucking money. A lot of money. Why the fuck would he do that? He would have to be a fucking idiot to do that. Shout out to King Cotton Pickin' Riches. Shout out to King Cotton Pickin' Riches.
Now, I may be a lot of things, but I'm not an idiot. I may be cool, I may be calm, I may be collected, but I'm not a fool. And essentially, the colonial mindset of Pearl has people working on her quote-unquote plantation for absolute pittance, when a year ago, I suggested to her to look into exactly what colonization.
Now, this is a brother I could fuck with. This is a brother I could work with. This is a brother I could work with, right?
Was, and she acted dumb.
Guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And, you know, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had...
Now, remember that she said that, and hold her to it. Because let's see if in the future she is interviewing, say, somebody, say for the sake of the argument, she was interviewing Louis Farrakhan. Remember, I don't interrogate people. I'm not trying to have a confrontation, yada, yada, yada. I just, let people talk and listen to them, right? Okay, so in the future, let's say for the sake of the argument, she's interviewing Louis Farrakhan. She's not going to confront him, right? She's not going to try to interrogate him, right? She's just going to listen and let him talk, right? Remember, take what she just said, put it in your back pocket, and save it for later.
Someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
Now, I grew up in a time where there were brilliant R&B girl groups like TLC, and also brilliant R&B artists like Toni Braxton. They both sold millions and millions and millions of records, but they ended up broke. Why? Contracts. They were signed to contracts that did not favor them. And essentially, what Pearl is trying to do is come back in with the same contracts and do the exact same thing to the manosphere and do the exact same thing to the red pill community. Why? Because Kevin Samuels left a gap. And Kevin Samuels' fan base was predominantly black men. And Pearl has come in there and attempted to be top of the food chain.
Yep.
I will not be a part of this game. And I will not be a part of this colony. I have always been an independent. If people in the UK who can actually say and watch all of my content can say that I've been around before Pearl even arrived in the UK.
Now, wait a minute. The brother just laid it all out for you. He said, I will not be a part of this game. So somebody please tell me why Obsidian is playing the game. Somebody please tell me why Jessica X is playing the game. Somebody please tell me why Angry Man is playing the game. Why Tommy Sotomayor is playing the game. Why Bernard Riley is playing the game. Why every last one of these fucking house nigga black manosphere content creators, damn near all of them, are playing the fucking game. And they don't even know that bitch. But I'll tell you why Angry Man's playing the game. I'll tell you exactly why Angry Man is playing the game. And for those of you who actually listen to Angry Man, you know I'm telling the motherfucking truth. And you should be looking at Angry Man with the motherfucking side eye. Because you tell me how the fuck Angry Man been talking shit about Pearl all winter long. He was talking shit about Pearl because he was mad that Pearl was, because if you remember, back this winter that just passed, Angry Man finally blew up as far as his sub count is concerned. His subs shot through the roof. He gained like 300,000 subs in 2 months. So finally, he thought he was going to get the notoriety, attention, and respect from the manosphere that he feels he deserves. But what was going on while his channel was blowing up? Pearl was blowing up too. And everybody was giving Pearl that attention and notoriety. So Angry Man was butthurt over there on his channel. Every other fucking time he went live, he was sitting there complaining about Pearl, talking shit about Pearl, talking shit about the whole black manosphere and how they kissing this bitch's ass and blah, 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 blah. Woe is me, what about me, what about me? Talking big shit about Pearl all winter long. And what just came out last week? On that first video that Angry Man did about the Pearl situation. Come to find out, back in January, Pearl sent Angry Man a message that he overlooked. He didn't realize that Pearl had hit him up. And Pearl hit him up wanting him to come on the show. But he never saw the message back in January. Apparently he just now discovered the message. So now all of a sudden, after he spent all winter long talking shit about Pearl, now all of a sudden he's defending Pearl, pretending like he don't see the racism. We're talking about a Negro. Angry Man claims he used to be a member of the Nation of Islam. Angry Man claims to have read all sorts of books like the ISIS Papers, the Miseducation of the Negro, Destruction of Black Civilization. Claims to have Message to the Black Man. Claims to have read all these books, claims to have been a member of the Nation of Islam, but the nigga don't recognize racism when he sees it. Oh, and another thing, somebody tell that motherfucker angry man, go ahead and clip this shit and send it to the nigga. Bruh, you got 400,000 subscribers at this point, bruh. Don't you think it's about time you got your fucking teeth fixed, nigga? I'll be damned if I'll be sitting up on YouTube with 400,000 subscribers and some fucked up yellow teeth. Fucked up crooked ass yellow teeth. Look like you got a mouthful of school buses, nigga. Fix your teethus. Fix your teethus, nigga. The fuck? How you got 400,000 subs and some fucked up teeth? One of these things does not belong. Bruh. God damn. You need some braces and some bleach.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Signing my life away, essentially. 70% of all I own to this woman who just arrived in the UK the other day. She said to me that she's actually looking to sign more talent this year. Good for her. Good for the talent. But I hope they watch this video. And I hope they realize exactly what they will be signing. And I actually hope that this video makes her think about the ways. Because essentially...
She won't. She will not at all. She's going to continue to offer those slave contracts. And there's always going to be some house Negro or somebody desperate enough to sign them.
I had been with her from the beginning. And I had helped grow her channel. And if she could suggest this to me, somebody who helped her grow her channel, then you are nothing to her. I have only given you around 30% of what I know. We haven't even touched on the very odd and weird parties that Pearl likes to invite people to. And I was invited to one last year, and she told me that her manager was coming from America and they were going to have a party. And
I'm gonna let him say what he's saying. How much you want to bet the manager has fucked Pearl? After I seen this little, freaky deaky perverted party shit with the whiteboard, I said, you know what? That manager done bent Pearl the fuck over. How much you want to bet the manager has fucked Pearl? Had them big old size 12 feet in the fucking air. You know Pearl got some big ass feet, bro. That's a big foot bitch, right? You know she got some big ass feet.
Interestingly, they said that it was going to be board games. And I said, okay, cool. I don't mind playing Monopoly. I don't mind playing Snakes and Ladders. When I got there and I asked her about the board game, she said, no, a board game. There was a whiteboard in the living room. And what she proposed was that we all have a time on the whiteboard and we do what she says and we talk about certain things which were quite sexual and we put them on the whiteboard. But you know what I saw? I always saw her manager Kobe in the corner filming everything. And we've all spoken amongst ourselves and we've spoken about Hollywood and the things that go down. And within that party, what I saw was if people were on that board doing very sexual things and doing things while they were drunk, that stuff was being recorded. But we'll speak about it another time.
Insurance policies. That's what you call blackmail, baby. So when somebody gets upset in the future and they want to expose some things about Pearl, Like, remember that time at that party when you whipped your dick out and let Auntie Jenny you did some sexual acts with Auntie Jenny? Yeah, you might want to keep your mouth shut. We will put the tape on Instagram, nigga. We will put the video on Instagram. You and Auntie Jenny getting it on, nigga. Insurance policies, bro. That's what that shit is about. That's what that shit is about. I hope nobody was doing nothing too damn crazy. Because if you was doing something too crazy, Pearl owns you.
I want to ask the men in here. I want to ask the men in here. Okay. Raise your hand if you think women like violence.
Goofy question. A goofy question. Everybody likes violence. Everybody likes violence. Everybody likes a good fight. I don't care who they are. So, there it is. Sarah Garvey laid it all out for you. Made it simple and plain. That wasn't complicated. Anybody in the room from 16 to 60 could understand what he was saying. But like I said, though, I'm interested in seeing how people in the manosphere respond to this video, or if they respond at all, because he knows Pearl. You don't. He just laid out exactly what's going on behind the scenes. So what excuse now does anybody have to cape for? I'm sure they'll come up with them. I'm sure they'll come up with them. These Negroes got an excuse for every damn thing. For every damn thing. Apparently, it's easier to come up with an excuse for your bullshit than it is to just simply say, you know what? I was wrong about that. I've changed my opinion. You know, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would simply make a video saying, you know what? Damn, I was wrong. And in light of new information, I have changed my opinion. These Negroes in the black manosphere, they're not going to do that. They are not going to do that. They're more worried about always appearing to be right. They're more worried about staying in lockstep with what the other content creators are saying. Basically, they're gonna try to do with this video what they tried to do with the video that made all hell break loose with Pearl and Nick Fuentes. They're gonna try to ignore it the same way they tried to ignore that video. The only reason they had no choice but to acknowledge what happened in that video is because Jason Black, who I'm gonna, at this point, it's pretty obvious to me, Jason Black is not affiliated with the manosphere. But Jason Black, I'll put it this way, Jason Black is more influential on YouTube than any content creator from the Black Manosphere space.
Then we have what power?
Period. Period. He is more influential than any content creator from the Manosphere space. Jason Black did that video and all hell has broken loose, bro. All hell has broken loose. And you know, a lot of y'all, what y'all need to do is write Jason Black a letter thanking him for giving y'all such a great opportunity to make some money, because y'all been cranking out video after video after video after video after video. This whole situation is probably going to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars across the fucking board for all the various content creators who are doing videos on this. Because everybody is talking about this and everybody has done multiple videos at this point. As a matter of fact, there's only 2 content creators I can even think of who haven't done videos on this. There's only 2 that I know of. So y'all need to write Jason Black a letter thanking him for the opportunity to make some money. Then you need to hit Jason Black's Cash App, break him off some of that bread you've been making. And that's another thing too, is what I'm starting to wonder is, are the majority of the content creators in the Black Manosphere, are the majority of them taking the position that they're taking simply because they hate Jason Black? Because you know they hate Jason Black. You know what I'm saying? Every last one of them. They fucking hate Jason Black, because Jason Black has called them out every chance he's gotten. And you notice they're so fucking scared of Jason Black. They're so fucking scared of Jason Black, they will never say his name. They will never say his name. I was shocked. I was shocked the other day when a couple days ago when O'Shea actually said his name. But at the end of the day, O'Shea knew Jason Black wasn't gonna pull up to his fucking show. I know Jason Black ain't gonna pull up his show, because I'm pretty sure Jason Black would hear the words of Elijah Muhammad ringing in his ear. You go wearing your knees out, going to see somebody else, you make them come to you. You know what I'm saying? So I knew Jason Black wasn't gonna show up to that. I knew that. Oh, damn it.